A hot cup of coffee in cold winter morning brings a smile on anyone's face. So there I was, making myself a cup of coffee at work, and a colleague walked in. I looked at her, complimented her. Wow, you look beautiful in those new curls. She tossed her hair a little bit, came closer and said, Thank you, but you don't have to worry about hairstyles, isn't it? I love trying new hairstyles. What a waste. Nobody can see it. Why don't you throw that thing off your head? You are in the United States, my dear. Yes, I am in the United States, the world's melting pot, and I experienced the least expected. There were quite a few preconceived notions in my colleague's mind about me. Maybe I am forced or oppressed. Quite opposite to that, when I decided to wear this thing on my head, which I call hijab, my husband was surprised, and in no way he tried to change my decision. Or maybe I come from a country or family where everybody dresses this way, and I just blindly follow the practice. In fact, when I started wearing my hijab, many of my family members were appalled at it. And I started wearing it after I came to the United States. I do not blame my colleague for any of her perceptions about me. This is how media has been portraying people who look like me. A study found that 80% of news coverage about Islam and Muslims is negative. Today, in this day and age, we breathe and consume media. We are surrounded by myriad of media sources, and oftentimes these sources carry a bias, which either creates a stereotype or strengthens an already existing one. Media uses specific attributes when it talks about certain group of people. If you hear those attributes over and over again, it creates an image in your mind. For example, this way of dressing, if attributed as modest, creates a positive image. Now change the word from modest to oppressed or old fashioned. The image now becomes negative. The inundation of repetitive messages is what converts an opinion into a fact. Children are much more open minded and respectful to diversity. I remember when my daughter was 6 years old, in one of her classes, a friend of hers asked her, What is this head covering on your mother's head? My daughter very casually explained that it is part of our faith. And pleasantly enough, her friend took this response very positively. Had my daughter been exposed to external negative messages about somebody who looks like her mother, she wouldn't have been comfortable in her own identity. People like me might be the first ones to bear the consequences of such stereotypes, but it is harming us all. Stereotypes like these snowball into bigger problems like racism, bullying, discrimination, and identity crisis. Another example of how media enslaves our beliefs is children TV. Children TV stereotypes images of women. Girls and women are often motivated by love and romance. They look lesser independent than boys. They are even stereotyped by their hair color. Now that I talked about how media subjugates our viewpoints and how real human beings are crushed between perception and reality, what do we do about it? Listen. Listen to the stories of real people because it is far more enriching than living with prejudice and biases. Let us all make a conscious effort to not let media overpower our intellect. Let us claim our curiosity and let us strike a positive conversation with somebody who looks different than us, maybe with a hot cup of coffee.